Here's the main point of this message this morning. I call it the main thing. It's good to ask, Lord, what do you feel about this? I think my fear is that sometimes we can go one of two directions. We can think that God is almost like a robot and it wouldn't do any good to feed data into Him because it's fixed and it's just going to be what it's going to be, and so we will trust fate. That's one danger. Then the other danger is just as bad. Getting so chummy with God as though I can somehow bring Him down to my level, and I'm friends with God. I know God on a first name basis, and I'm really close to Him. I'm closer than other people to Him. And to where it just becomes so watered down. And to me, the best thing is a marriage of respect and awe and fear of who He is, but in the genuine nature of relationship too, all at the same time, to truly worship Him and love Him. And I think it's good from time to time to just ask, Lord, got any thoughts about this? I did it this morning. I was praying about the church gathering, about the service. And I just prayed, Lord, what would you really like to see happen today? Could you somehow get me out of the way and let that happen? We always plan our church services, and I think that's really important. We put a lot of prayerful thought into the flow of the service. Usually there's a theme that connects it. Sometimes that theme stretches out over weeks. I believe it's important to pray and to plan. But I always want to know, God, is there anything that you want to say and do in our gathering? Because we will gladly just scrap the program. We will step aside. Do you have any feelings about this, God? This morning I was praying and saying, Lord, how do you want to close it? And this is what I felt in my heart. No hoopla, no calling to the front, no laying on of hands, but simply to make a suggestion to you that sometime today, during this day, and this is a holiday weekend, this is Labor Day weekend, some of you get to be free from work tomorrow, sometime during this weekend. So maybe it's today, or maybe it's something that you really want to plan. I want you to plan an appointment with God and make it the most important appointment of your weekend. And I would like to challenge you to be led by the Holy Spirit to do something that shows how very much you value God's feelings. A couple of suggestions that come to mind. Maybe you write. Well, it would be a wonderful exercise if you got a postcard just for God. I don't know the address, so don't even ask where you're going to mail this. You might just want to keep it in your journal. Dear God, I was just thinking about you today. And I just want you to know how much I love you. It could be that you sit down and type out a letter. Some of you are gifted that way. Some of you are musical. Maybe you would just say, at some point over this weekend, you make an appointment where it's just you and God, and you say, God, I wrote this song for you. I'm not going to sing it for everybody, but I'm going to sing it just for you. See, because God has feelings too. And I hate the times in my life where I have relegated Him to, in a little while. Because I'm pretty busy right now. But those are the times when I look back over my life, I regret that more than anything. You see, because here's the way I picture it, and I know it's different for every person on planet Earth. It doesn't always work this way for me, but I would say 99.9% of the time this is how it works for me. God has given me the early morning hours before the world opens for business. And I'm not a person who enjoys getting up early, but I love being up once I'm up. I love when the phone's not ringing, the texts aren't coming, the emails are not circulating, and Facebook messages are not dinging. And I have that time with God, and it's His time, and it's before the world opens for business. But here's what happens in your daily time. You've got to have that daily time. You must have it. It cannot be weekly cake. It has to be daily bread. For some of us, wake up in the morning, we throw the clothes on, we're brushing our teeth, and we're headed out the door, and God is following us around saying, "Can I just got just a couple of minutes? Can I just be with you just for a moment? Yeah. God, I promise, sooner, when I get off from work, okay, soon." You know what we're doing when we do that? We might as well say, "You be a good little God, and you just stay over there in your place. And that's your corner. And when I have time for you, I will let you know." And meanwhile, we are going into a war every day, not even realizing that we're stepping out of our door and going into a war zone. And in our closet, we've got a helmet of salvation and a breastplate of righteousness and a shield of faith. We've got a belt of truth, and we've had feet that could be fitted with a readiness to share the gospel. But if we ignore Him, we leave all of the armament in the closet, and we go out naked trying to fight a war. So, I don't know what yours is going to be. What will your appointment be this weekend to show God that this is just all about you? This is the most important appointment of my day, the most important appointment of my weekend. God, you've got feelings too, and this is just for you. It's not even for me. It's all for you. Stand with me. No musicians coming. I felt that we were to sing this simple little chorus.